Hello ladies and gentlemen, Gaming Medley here, and today we're going to be talking about the loads of bloody bullshit going on with Payday 2 and Overkill Studios. Oh, and this video is going to contain some salty language, so if your mom can hear and you're underaged, or you're just easily offended by that kind of thing, you might want to head off. Anti-consumer bullshit like this is liable to make me a good bit more cuss-worthy than I am in general. You've been warned. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Payday 2 was released on August 13th, 2013 to the public. People fell in love with the game immediately, and over the past 2 years the game has continued to meet with large amounts of success. People were enthralled by the gameplay, and the developers were praised for their level-headed stance on microtransactions in video games. In fact, when the game was first launched and the pseudo-head of PR at Overkill, producer Almir Listo, was questioned about if microtransactions would make it into Payday 2, he wrote that, quote, "We've made it clear that Payday 2 will have no microtransactions whatsoever, parentheses, shame on you if you thought otherwise." Then lead designer David Goldfarb followed that up by saying that, no, God, I hope not, never, no, when asked if the game would have microtransactions. Fast forward 2 years and a month, Goldfarb has left Overkill and Payday 2 has just announced that it will have microtransactions and it is part of the new Black Market update for the game. And as you can imagine, the fans are pissed out of their skulls. And they have every right to be. It's becoming more and more rare for games to not have some sort of microtransactions in them. Battlefield, Assassin's Creed, Dead Space, Halo 5, the new Tomb Raider, the list goes on. Publishers keep adding new ways for gamers to speed up their experience, and because gamers like speeding up their experience, they keep using them. Payday 2 used to be one of the few popular shooter games that didn't involve cash for guns. Of course, this did make perfect sense. The game was, after all, buy to play, and currently sits at a price of $20 when not on sale. In addition, Payday 2 has released a rather incredible amount of DLC, and if you want to buy the game and all of its DLC at full price individually, piece by piece, you're looking at a rather hefty sum of around $130. If you haven't been buying DLC along the way, it's $50 for a Game of the Year edition. So 2 AAA games and a microtransaction for one other game of your choice just to unlock all of the content for this horde mode heist shooter if you've been paying along the way. Hefty indeed. But let's be honest, you've spent at least that much on one free-to-play shooter, haven't you? We all know how addictive free-to-play games can be. And when you're paying $6 here and $5 there for a DLC every now and again, you're not likely to realize how much money you've spent until it's gone. So you go on playing your shooter and having a grand old time indeed. Over the years, you notice that the developers start treating their fans a little differently, maybe with less respect. More DLC is getting released with less content. Guns are getting nerfed and buffed in a way that you start feeling like you have to buy the DLCs to remain competitive, but they're like $5, so what does it really matter? And then one day, you see a Reddit/4chan user named Lone Wolf claim that Overkill would be unleashing microtransactions upon Payday 2. You're skeptical, you've heard the quotes. Of course they wouldn't do that. And then the notes for something called the Black Market update get released. And what are they? Everything this Lone Wolf predicted is what? CS:GO style microtransactions are being implemented, where you can unlock safes at the end of heists that you then need to purchase a drill to open. These drills currently sit at $2.49 and there's no way to earn them in-game. These safes hold skins for guns that have a chance to marginally improve the stats of said gun if you get a legendary skin. And if Lone Wolf is to be believed, more microtransactions are coming down the pipe, with armor skins being next in line. Of course, being a dedicated Payday 2 player, one of the many who have spent hundreds of hours playing, you're furious. In addition, the price of the Payday 2 Game of the Year edition is dropped to $12.49, so you've got loads of new players who are wondering exactly what people are going on about. A $13 game with a few microtransactions that plays very well? What's not to love? In short, everything. There have been several posts on the Steam forums claiming that the fans have nothing to be angry about simply because the microtransactions are optional, and the quotes that Overkill made saying they wouldn't put microtransactions in were made 2 years ago, so they shouldn't matter anymore. Dumb as fuck. Firstly, it's not like promises have a time limit. Saying that it's okay to put microtransactions into the game because it's been a few years since Overkill said they would never do just that is roughly equivalent to saying that it's okay to cheat after being married for a few years because it's been a while since you made your vows. Sure, you can do it, but that doesn't change the fact that it's morally fucked up and wrong in every way. Secondly, it doesn't matter if these microtransactions are fucking optional. They're in the game after the community was promised they wouldn't be. They're in the game in addition to the roughly $100 worth of DLC, and what's even worse is they provide a stat boost. If you can scam yourself into buying enough drills that you end up with an incredibly rare legendary skin for one of your guns from one of these safes, congratulations, you're more powerful than everyone else who doesn't have a legendary weapon skin. And to me, that's what puts it over the line. The fact that you have a chance to gain power through microtransactions that the community was promised would never be put into the game in the first place might just be one of the shittiest things I've heard of a game studio doing in a long time. If these skins were simply cosmetic, it would still violate some sort of moral code for me, but you know what, I'd be willing to tolerate it. But the fact that these things can give you actual in-game power? No fucking way. There is no excuse for this. There is nothing redeemable about the choice to practice this kind of business. Overkill is fucking their most loyal fans up the arse, and the only people who might possibly win are new players who will buy the game for $13 with all of its DLC and still have about 15 keys left to buy before they've spent the $50 on the game that the GOTY edition costs for most people, and about 47 keys left to buy before they match the approximate $130 that veterans of the game have spent to unlock all of the DLC. I couldn't be happier that the game is getting bombarded by negative reviews and that the rating is going down every couple of hours. I couldn't be happier that people are pissed, and I couldn't be happier that this has become one of the biggest scandals in gaming's recent memory over the last few days. Good. Fucking good. It's about time we see studios getting called on their anti-consumer bullshit. Shape your shit up, Overkill, or this shitstorm you're stuck in the middle of isn't going to end anytime soon. And that's not a bad thing. If you liked this video, feel free to sub, comment, or like it. If you disliked it, well, feel free to dislike it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. GM out.